Hello, I'm Tarik Toros. Welcome to What's Happening in Turkey. He won't live through elections. For the past 12 years, Turkey has systematically sidelined the rule of law and democracy. The country is in free fall on many fronts, first and foremost the economy. Turkey is not at war. It's not under international sanctions or embargoes. Yet, according to official data, it suffers from the fifth highest inflation rate in the world. The actual inflation rate, according to independent economists, is closer to 74%. More than half of the Turkish population believes the government is incapable of fixing the economy. Still, the ruling party shows no intention of relinquishing power before the next scheduled election in 2028. In authoritarian regimes, elections are rarely a vehicle for true political change. President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan has ruled Turkey for 22 years, 12 of them with increasingly autocratic control. He has created a system where losing power is not considered an option. When Erdoğan had his strongest political rival, Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, imprisoned, he sent an unmistakable message to the world. Social tensions in Turkey are now rising dramatically. Freedom of speech has all but disappeared. Even ordinary actions can be criminalized. For the past 24 weeks, I've been reporting on this. Today, in week 25 of What's Happening in Turkey, I will present 3 alarming signs of a country trapped in political and social paralysis. 1. Attack on the opposition leader. On Sunday, the 4th of May, Turkey's main opposition leader, Özgür Özel, was physically attacked as he left a memorial ceremony. Özel's party currently leads the ruling party by 6 percentage points in recent polls. The attacker's identity was revealed within hours, and what followed exposed the depth of Turkey's human rights and legal crisis. The attacker, now 66 years old, had previously served time for murdering his own 2 children in 2004, but was released after only 15 years. This is part of a troubling pattern in Turkey. Violent criminals are released early, while political prisoners languish in overcrowded prisons. Even more disturbing, the same man had recently claimed he had information about an alleged plot to assassinate Ekrem İmamoğlu, the jailed opposition figure widely seen as the strongest contender for the presidency. In the past, he had shared a prison cell with the murderer of Turkish-Armenian journalist Hrant Dink, who was killed in 2007. He even publicly detailed how Dink's murder was planned. Though now rearrested, history suggests he may again be released early. This is not an isolated incident. In 2019, then opposition leader Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu was assaulted at a soldier's funeral. The attacker was swiftly released and even praised by government sympathizers. Number 2. Tivtor Blackout for İmamoğlu. Ekrem İmamoğlu, Erdoğan's main rival, was arrested on the 19th of March and is now facing 5 separate court cases, each designed to politically ban him from public office. In an extraordinary move, Istanbul University, under government control, retroactively cancelled the diploma İmamoğlu earned 35 years ago. The clear aim: to prevent him from running for president again. A day later, İmamoğlu was detained. 4 days later, he was formally arrested and removed from office. The government planned to install a trustee to take over Istanbul City Hall, a move that was paused following intense public outrage and market panic. From prison, İmamoğlu communicated via his X account, passing messages to the public through his lawyers. The Turkish government quickly sought to silence him. A court order was sent to X, demanding the account be blocked within Turkey. X complied, but for the first time, publicly expressed disagreement with the decision. Nevertheless, it censored İmamoğlu's posts domestically. Number 3. How long will Elon Musk bow to authoritarian regimes? The X platform's compliance in Turkey mirrors its actions elsewhere. This week, X approved a government request from India to block over 8,000 accounts across a country of 1.4 billion people without a court order. X later admitted it had done so, publicly advising affected users to take legal action. But in authoritarian countries, courts often serve the interests of the ruling party, making such advice hollow. X's willingness to comply with censorship requests poses a growing threat to free speech globally. Powerful governments are increasingly turning to X to silence dissent. Elon Musk's X, seeking to avoid full bans in key markets, is complying one account at a time. Often the silence accounts are the most critical, influential voices. It is time for global platforms to draw a line, to say no to authoritarian governments, to stand up for free speech and the rights of users everywhere. Voices of panic incite the ruling party. Back in Turkey, İmamoğlu's arrest has rattled not only the opposition but also Erdoğan's ruling AKP party. Internal dissenters say the move has severely damaged the party's public image, worsened the economic crisis, and further eroded international credibility. Within the presidential palace, high-level debates are taking place. One faction reportedly warned, "We have shot ourselves in the foot. İmamoğlu's arrest triggered a crisis spiral we cannot control." There is growing concern that AKP would no longer win free elections. Recent polls, both independent and commissioned by government allies, show the opposition Republican People's Party consistently leading by several points. The latest survey confirms this, AKP to rise by 6 percentage points. The political turmoil has impacted Turkey's fragile economy. Following İmamoğlu's arrest, the central bank spent at least $50 billion to stabilize the markets. Finance Minister Mehmet Şimşek reportedly suffered from stomach issues due to the mounting pressure. A new phase in the witch hunt. Why did you go abroad? Meanwhile, the Turkish government's relentless crackdown on the Gülen movement continues. Since accusing the group of orchestrating the failed 2016 coup attempt, Turkish authorities have conducted mass arrests, detentions, and blacklists. This week, police raided 47 provinces simultaneously, detaining hundreds of mostly young people accused of terror group membership. What emerged from the interrogation files was shocking. The evidence was almost non-existent. The questions were ordinary. Have you ever traveled abroad? Which apps do you use? Does your family have a criminal record? Where have you worked before? Prosecutors used routine life details to create fear and extract confessions or force people to inform on others. Lawyers were blocked from contacting clients for hours, and many detainees were coerced into signing statements they did not agree with. Last month, the same methods were used against young people protesting İmamoğlu's detention. Even those with serious health conditions were denied release despite medical reports. One example is Esila Ayık, a 22-year-old university student from Belgium. She returned to Turkey after 2.5 years abroad and was arrested during a peaceful protest. Esila, who suffers from a heart condition, remains imprisoned and has been denied adequate medical care. Her lawyer explains. She faces punishment for a crime that would not normally warrant imprisonment. Esila has now become a powerful symbol of a generation behind bars. Today, over 70% of Turkish youth say they want to emigrate. They see no future for themselves in their homeland. I am Tarik Toros. Thank you for watching What's Happening in Turkey. See you next week.